Welcome back to Players vs. Platinum podcast. Today we're bringing you special episode number 2, where we're going to analyze the PlayStation 5 and its entire generation. It's now 6 years old. We're going to go into the console itself, all the accessories and software and hardware that it came with. We're also going to discuss the much discussed subject, which is PS exclusives, and see if we really did lack that many, or actually if we did have enough PS exclusives. And we're going to talk about the midpoint of the console generation and what we think should happen going forward. So get yourself a nice cup of tea or cup of coffee, get comfortable. This is going to be a long one. I'd like to introduce my podcast partner, Score Addict.
Hi.
So Score, let's start back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's a global pandemic. We're all stuck at home, and we have the launch in 2020 of the PlayStation 5. So let's touch upon the pandemic supply issues, how hard it was to get a PS5. I think both of us struggled in that realm. The launch games, the price, how it compares to the previous generations, PS4, PS3. What was your experience of the PS5 launch?
Oh my God, what a question. So I remember that I was interested in it, but I think the price and the supply wasn't what I was expecting, and so I waited. I think I got my PS5 2 years later, because I couldn't find one, and I wasn't searching for one, so I wasn't looking for anything. I had my PS4 Pro, which is highly regarded by me. I love my PS4 Pro. I have so many memories playing games, hunting trophies with that. So I wasn't hyped about the PS5, but when I got it, it was a step up, I would say. But how much? We will discuss this in this episode. What was your experience at launch?
I think because it launched at such a tricky time, and there wasn't any standout obvious games that you must buy the PS4, because we had, which we'll discuss, we had the overlap of PS4 games and PS5 games launching together. There was no burning reason to get it, and then each time I tried, I couldn't get a PS5. So then I got mine, like you, 2 years later, I think March or April 2022. And I remember Ghost of Tsushima launched on PS4, and they did the director's cut PS5 upgrade. And I decided that I was going to wait, and Ghost of Tsushima would be my first PS5 game. Because I'd seen footage online. I was like, this looks really good on the PS5. So I finally got it. I think I had to get a bundle as well. I think I got like Horizon Forbidden.
Yes. Yeah,
Forbidden West. Yeah, Horizon Forbidden West. And I also got an extra SSD, which for some reason didn't work in my PS. Long story. And I couldn't return it because they were like, you have to return the entire bundle. And I was like, no, it's fine. I sold it. It was fine.
Yeah.
It worked out. So I got it. I was pleasantly surprised, and I didn't know this, that I booted up my PS5 and it came with a free game. And a very good free game, Astro's Playroom. And I think, we're going to compliment and criticize the PS5 generation in this episode. And I think that's a first compliment, that it came with a very good 6-7 hour game.
Yep.
Which I think also had free DLC trophies as well. So Astro's Playroom was a really nice surprise. If you take it into context, Nintendo Switch 2 launched, and they have a game which shows you the system. It's not really a game, but it's like an interactive thing that shows you how to use the system. You pay for that. You pay for...
Yeah, that's...
Nintendo charged people to pay for something just to show them how the Nintendo works.
That demo, yeah.
And no one says anything. No one criticizes Nintendo. And Sony launched with a really good banger game, which the game sequel would go on to win Game of the Year. So...
amazing.
Yeah, I thought when I first started playing it, I was shocked at the load times. I did what I said. I played Astro's Playroom, then I loaded Ghost of Tsushima in, and no exaggeration, when you launch Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5 launcher, I would say within 5 seconds you are in the open world. No exaggeration. It just loads up. You skip through the title cards, the studios who made the game. You press continue, and you are in the open world. 5 seconds flat.
Yeah.
And I was astonished by. I was like, "Whoa, this is something else. This is the next gen." Obviously, the graphics stood out. So
So
yeah, I was impressed.
that was your first game you played on the PS5, or was it Astro's Playroom?
It was Astro's Playroom because that was a surprise.
Okay,
It was
okay.
Astro's Playroom, and then it was Ghost of Tsushima was my first proper like big game. So
I
what were
see.
your first two
Yeah,
games?
so I got the PS5 with a bundle, Horizon Forbidden West, but I thought about this, and I also had Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and Demon Souls Remake, and of
Nice.
course Astro's Playroom. And I think Guardians of the Galaxy was the first game I played on my PS5. And of course, big fan of the PS3 Demon Souls game. So I wanted to play the remake, which is fantastic, looks great, feels great. It's one of the best games. And I remember when I started Astro's Playroom, I didn't play it immediately. I think I don't know how much time passed between like, my when I got the PS5 and playing Astro's Playroom. But I was shocked how much I enjoyed Astro's Playroom, because I don't like platformers. I love Mario 64 on
Yeah.
the N64. That was my only platformer I ever loved, really. And Astro's Playroom felt so smooth. Everything, load times were non-existent basically, and yeah, I was shocked how good it was. And I want to play the game of the year eventually, and it's on my list, and I can't look forward to get this game. Yeah, so
Nice.
before we go on, I would love to hear from our listeners. Please let us know in the comments, when did you get your PS5? What was it? Were you excited for it? Or yeah, how did you feel when you got your PS5? Let us know in the comments.
And what was your debut
Yeah,
PS5 game? When did you first play
exactly.
on the PS5? Um, the other thing with Astro's Playroom did another thing that was smart is that it kind of showed off the controller and it showed off some of the software in the PS5, like activity cards, which takes us on to our next subject, which is going to be the hardware, the user interface, the controller, and PS Plus. Lots of things to tackle about the PS5. I think things where it excels. So, um, yeah, our opinions on the console itself as a piece of hardware and the overall interface. So, who wants to kick this off?
I mean, I can give my honest opinion. I was never a tech savvy person, so you could throw numbers at me and teraflops and whatnot, and I don't care, as long as my games run smoothly, look great, and yeah, are exclusive. I don't care. Um, I didn't like the look, the white look, because up until that point, I had the PS3 Slim was black,
Yeah.
PS4 Pro, PS4 black, PS4 Pro black, and then the white side pieces didn't impress me too much. And I have a funny story. When I bought it and put it on my desk, my mom is not a tech savvy person, doesn't nothing about the games, but when she saw this, she said something along the lines of, "Oh, why do you have another of these devices?" So she could tell it was a new device on my desk, and that I found it funny. And didn't like the white controller either.
Mm,
And so I immediately bought the second controller, the black controller, and that's my favorite controller. Just clean, black, and
mm.
I had to replace it at one point with another black controller. Duh. So that's my thing. Clean look, um, And yeah, what about you? What do you think of the console and the hardware?
Uh, I was shocked at how big it was when I
Yeah,
first set it up, and
yeah.
I set it up on my TV. So my TV's on a wall, and I have a shelf underneath. So I stood it up
Hmm.
on the shelf, and it's
Hmm.
so tall that when you look to the TV, the PS5 actually encroaches onto the TV. So at the bottom left corner, the PS5 is in the way, and I was like, "Wow, this is awkward."
Yeah.
I I kind of like the look of it, you know. It grew on me. I like that it had a distinct kind of shape and the curves. I didn't mind the white and black because I think
Hmm.
whilst I was used to black only consoles, I think it got a bit boring, and I
Hmm.
think the white and black was just something different and fresh. I I think what I liked was I think Sony went with a very bold, brash look, and I think Sony wanted your PlayStation 5 to be like a main point of your living room or your office, your
Hmm.
gaming room. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's almost the point they've made it so big and bright that it stands out. So people will notice straight away you have a PS5. I think they went for a very brash,
Yeah.
bold look. The other thing I like, which, we not had, I think, in previous generations, is you can change the color.
Yeah.
You can buy faceplates. You can customize your PS5. You can do what you want. You can put, you can change it to red, blue, purple, or camouflage, I think. Then there was like game exclusive covers as well. Um, so I like that a lot. So I quite like the hardware.
Mhm.
I'm glad that it's got smaller over time. I'm glad the PS5 Pro is smaller than the original one.
Okay.
I think it's the same height, but I think it's much thinner.
Hmm.
So that helps. Um, and then also with hardware, it came with quite a lot of storage, which was needed, especially in this
Yeah.
generation. They also made it very easy for you to install an SSD, which I highly recommend to everyone.
Yes, that is a must. If you can afford it, please do that.
Yeah. They also made it quite accessible in the sense that it's quite easy to access your fan and give it a clean. If you're into things like that, I am. Every
Hmm.
now and again, every few years, I'll give my PS5 a clean. So
Hmm.
they made it quite accessible for you to kind of access the inner workings of the PS5. Whereas, for example, I think the PS4 standard was very difficult. I think you had to like take out 25 screws
Yeah.
to just like open it. In terms of the UI, the look of the system and stuff, I love it.
Hmm.
I love the interface of the PS5. I think it is so nice. It is so smooth. And in recent years, I have gone back because of my backlog and played my PS3.
Hmm.
And a couple of years ago, I did have my PS4 hooked up. And when you go back and go through those interfaces, the PS5 is like miles ahead. I mean, the PS3 is awful now, but I guess at the time it was fine. But the PS3, like everything is its own menu,
Uh-huh.
audio settings, video settings. Like you can get lost. Um, the PS4 had quite a blocky look, and yeah, I think the PS5, the interface is just so nice. The menu music.
Mhm.
You even have a welcome screen now where you can make widgets for yourself, which I've done, so I can see everything straight away at a glance. Um, So yeah, I like that aspect of the PS5 quite a lot.
Mhm.
Um, I
Yeah, I'm not sure. I like it. It's functional. I appreciate the gadgets, especially now that I've been more into DLC and stuff. I put more things on my wish list and see when they come on sale. So
hmm
that's neat. Um, but I'm not sure. I'm still not 100% used to the new look. To be honest, I
Really? Okay.
it's fresh. It's good. But it's not. I don't know how to describe it. But I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. So
Okay.
nothing, and yeah, it's okay. Um, and then the only thing. or two things that were annoying, and because I don't have Wi-Fi at home. I have everything a cable connection, everything, and my old Ethernet cable was the reason why my PS5 lost its connection on a constant basis. And for 1 year or more, maybe 1.5 years, I sat there and I couldn't figure out why. And then I bought a new cable, and since then I haven't had any problems. So that's, yeah, shocking to me that I put up with this so long. It's
Yeah, I know someone else who has the exact same problem, and it's just the PS5 requires the fastest, newest kind of
yeah,
Ethernet
yeah,
cables, just like it
yes,
requires HDMI 2.1 to get the most
yeah,
out of the image. So
yeah,
yeah, you gotta
yeah.
you gotta have the best peripherals to get the most out of it. Another thing regarding platinums that I like is the trophy menu is very nice.
Hmm.
You can pin 5 trophies. Um, Another thing PS5 introduced, which unfortunately not enough developers use this enough, is it can track your trophy progress.
Hmm.
So, for example, it's like find all weapons in the game, and there's 20 weapons. It will say how many out of 20 you've got, and there's
Yeah.
a percentage bar going up. Now, this is something nice that PS5 provides, but not enough developers take advantage of it. It's very annoying.
Hmm.
You get it a lot with exclusive games. A lot of the PS exclusives take advantage of it. Like I think The Last of Us remake had it.
Hmm.
So that's quite nice. If you're working on a trophy that you're grinding out, you can pin it to the side of your screen. So you can make your game screen a bit smaller, and on the side, you can have your trophies. So if you're doing something very specific, I think I've used this 2 or 3 times in the past.
I've never used that before.
I've used it. I
Hmm.
think I had a game where it was something dumb like grind something out 30 times and it was
Mm.
counting it. So I would just put down the side so I could just look and be like, right, I've got 6 more to do. Um,
Yeah, that's convenient.
It's good. It's good if you're trying to track a missable trophy and you're in
Oof,
that
yeah.
zone, and it just reminds you, like, oh, I need to make sure I do this before I leave this zone, for example. Um, the activity cards are quite nice as well with some games. They'll tell you how much is left. They've been quite handy on Returnal.
Mm.
Yeah, they tell you how much is left in the because it's an RNG game. It can still tell you how much is left to do in that level. Um, so yeah, for me, it's hardware, software, UI is 10 out of 10.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and eventually, when they make the PS6, I don't know how it will look or how it will feel, but I'll be a bit disappointed leaving the PS5 interface. I like it a lot.
That's
Um,
great. Yeah.
I know one issue people moan about is they can't change wallpapers.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that on my PS4.
Yeah.
I think on the PS5 you can change the wallpaper on your welcome hub page. But then I like each time you go on a game, it shows you all the info, how many trophies, how many hours you've done, friends that have played it.
Hmm.
Um, so it's convenient.
Oh man, why did you bring up themes? Now
Themes, you remember?
I
Yeah,
remember I had a Firewatch theme that would
nice.
change depending on the day, time of day. So
Yeah,
in the morning it would be orange, and at
yeah.
night it would be more bluish or whatever. And the music was so peaceful, and I I'm almost I'm about to cry about this because I miss it so much. But
I
yeah,
miss on my PS4. I had a Red Dead 2 wallpaper. It
yeah.
was so nice. I really like that. Um, the PS3 one. Do you remember the PS3 had movie tie-ins? So the PS3 right
Mm.
now on my PS3, I it's still under my account. Got my Dark Knight theme.
Ooh,
Yeah, so I put that
okay.
on sometimes. That's quite cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
nice.
so should we go on to PS Plus because that's another thing that changed with this generation. It's not
E-
necessarily PS5 related, but it's part of the generation. So they
mhm.
created 2 new tiers: PS Plus Extra and Premium.
Hmm.
You and I were previous PS Plus Extra subscribers. We
Yeah.
both downgraded, but
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it's you know it's good. PS Plus Essential, I think, is nothing special. I think in a year there'll be maximum 3 games that I get, and I'm like, oh, that's really good. I'm glad I got
Hmm.
that. But in general, the games never really are games I want to play or love, and that's fine. Um, when I had extra, it was good. I like the idea of extra. I think that if you're strapped for cash and you can't buy new games, and you could only afford just an extra subscription per year, I think it'd serve you very well because you had lots of games on there. You had like loads of Ubisoft games, lots of really good bangers, but the only issue is they're timed. So you have like, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months to play them. It's kind of puts some pressure on you.
Hmm. Yeah. I was surprised how much I liked Extra when I first got it because it's very convenient. Um, but it comes with its downsides. For example, I don't have Extra anymore, and I thought about going back to do the DLC in Wolfenstein 2, the 3 DLC which I bought, but now I can't access the game anymore because I don't have Extra. And the same with Sea of Stars or something.
Hmm.
I just earned the platinum before, I think a couple of days before it left Extra. I earned the platinum, and back then I wasn't into DLC, so I didn't care. And now I'm like, okay, I have this on my wish list, and when it comes on sale for very cheap, I will buy it to play the DLC because it's a good game. Um, and what I realized is that Extra or these subscription services in general, you don't own anything. You buy, basically you buy a license and they can
You're
be
renting.
removed from you. Yeah, you're renting basically.
You're renting.
And it hit me hard because I, I'm not sure if I have told the story before, but I had this twice when I was looking for Resident Evil Requiem. I went to the store, so my video game store closed. My GameStop, then it was renamed, and then it closed completely. So I don't have that. And all the places where I would buy video games from, they didn't have Requiem at launch in launch week or 2 weeks, and they still haven't. I went there to see if they have even so. One of them is called Media Mark. It's this store. Didn't have it. Still don't have it. And the same with Pragmata. 2 banger games, and maybe that's a strategy from Capcom that they release their games digitally to get as much profit from it as possible, and then a couple of years later they release a physical edition. I don't know, but 2 games very highly praised have didn't have a physical release. I couldn't buy it, and I was shocked, and that set my mind to the yeah, I have to be careful how to perceive gaming because we own nothing. We own nothing. That's a bit sad and shocking, to be honest. But yeah.
I, as a trophy hunter, I just feel like PS Plus Extra put pressure on me. My
Mhm.
own problem, but like
Mhm.
if say the Division 2 is a game we both love and I'm working on the DLC, if the Division 2 was on Extra, that's how I think we both accessed it.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, this will come off. I don't know when it comes off the system, and I have to get all the 100%. But maybe I'm not in the mood to play Division 2 for the next few months. I'm playing other games. So then it was just in the back of my mind. I remember like I think a Plague Tale Requiem was on PS Plus Extra, which I really wanted to do,
Mhm.
but I wasn't in the mood to play it. And I was like, I don't want to start it, pop a trophy, and then it gets taken off, and then now I have to buy the damn game for a lot of money. So it was just,
Mhm.
I think it is good, but I think Extra is really good if you just devote to Extra and you're not buying games. You're playing all the games that are on the Extra Plus subscription that you get. Then you can get the most out of it.
Mhm.
Um, So, guys, let us know what are your thoughts on PS Plus and which tier are you subscribed to?
Hmm.
As I said, both me and school were on extra, but we went down to essential.
Hmm.
I don't really miss it, but it's
Yeah, I want to mention one thing when it comes to PlayStation Plus. So, and especially for the PS5, because on PS4, you could do local backups with a what's it called, a stick, a
USB.
USB stick. You could backup saves there, but with the PS5, they only allow to do backups in the cloud when you have PS uh, Plus subscription, and that's a crime in my opinion. It's I know they want to protect their games. I don't know, or want to encourage you to buy the subscription. And I think PS Plus Essential is essential. At least I couldn't live without it. Um, I could, but it's so convenient, and it's yeah, it still makes me mad, to be honest, when I think about it. I use backup saves in the cloud very regularly. Not every time I finish a game, I upload my save to the cloud to have it, and it works. I recently bought the DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, at least part of it, and I could download my save from my PS Plus, and I could, yeah, my fully upgraded character was ready to go to play the DLC. So it's convenient. But yeah, you can only have one save in the cloud, and with the backup on the USB stick, you could have saves in multiple places in case you need it. Yeah, so that's something I find unacceptable, but it is what it is. It's business practice and whatever. So what was the question? Sorry, before I.
No, the question was for the listeners and viewers. Yeah, what are
Yeah.
their thoughts on PS Plus and what tier they subscribe to?
Okay. Yeah. Please let us know.
Love to know that. Right, on to the elephant in the room. The games. The reason you have a PS5,
Yeah.
the video games. Um, we've put together a list of PS4 exclusives, PS5 exclusives. Which do you want to go into that straight away, or
So yeah. So the thing I want to discuss for or say first is the PS5 is great. Loading times fantastic. It's convenient, but the lack of games that feel fresh and PlayStation exclusives are it's something is missing. And when I look at the list, Infamous Second Son, Bloodborne, Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima, Detroit Become Human, Uncharted 4, Uncharted Lost Legacy, God of War, The Last of Us Part 2, Marvel Spider-Man, Death Stranding, Shadow of the Colossus, Concrete Genie. I loved all of these games. I think they are bangers. They felt fresh. And when I look at the PS5 exclusive games, there are bangers. They are good games, but they didn't spark the same excitement when I read them. Returnal, for example, or Demon Souls remake, which is a remake of a PS3 game. It's not a new IP. It's not, but that's one of the best games in my opinion of this generation. Of course, there are some Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Technically, it's great. It looked and played like an animation film from Pixar or whatnot. And yeah, a lot of sequels, of course, which are exclusive to Sony or to
mm,
PlayStation or timed exclusive even. And so, in my opinion, there is a lack of PlayStation exclusives. What are your general thoughts on this topic?
yeah? I mean, when you list out the PS4 games, I mean PS5. Some of the other games we've got is Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, Forspoken. Then we've got the sequels: Horizon Forbidden West, Death Stranding 2, Astro Bot, which is technically a sequel, I guess. Ghost of
Yeah.
Yotei, Spider-Man 2. Um, I think I think this taps into an issue the PS5 has had, which is, I think, near the end of the PS4 generation, Sony came out strong with brand new IP. So, in the space of like 3 years, we literally got God of War reboot 2018. We got Death Stranding, Horizon Zero Dawn,
Mhm.
and Ghost of Tsushima. And these were all bangers. These were all games that were highly regarded. Some won Game of the Years. Um, and naturally, then the PS5 launched. And whilst those games on the PS4 felt fresh and brand new,
Mhm.
naturally on the PS5, they all got their sequels. And in general, it seems like Spider Man 2, Ragnarok, Ghost of
Oh yeah.
Yotei, Horizon Forbidden West all got lukewarm reactions. They weren't
Mhm.
bad games. No one hated them. They all got the same kind of, I felt like a 7 out of 10 kind of vibe of like, yeah, it's good, more of the same.
Mhm.
Um, and I think the PS5 has suffered, unfortunately. You know, the PS4 got these amazing brand new IPs just launched right near the end of the generation.
Mhm.
And the PS5 just didn't have that energy of kind of new games, new IPs, new characters. They just got the sequels.
Yeah, it's weird, and the reason why I'm bitching so much about PlayStation exclusive. So my point of view is that I love PlayStation exclusive because that means resources as much as they can devote to making and optimizing the game on one hardware or two hardware, maybe the PS5 and PS5 Pro, two hardware systems, and not dozens PC specs and Xbox Series S, which is, I think, a console that sold well, but it's the hardware is not pushing forward. It's a weak hardware, I think, the weaker one, and that's why games orient are focused to also run on there. And I hate that. I mean, the Uncharted 2, God of War 3, um, Heavy Rain. Oh, maybe Heavy Rain is an exclusive. They all looked amazing. They felt amazing because they were optimized um, for the hardware, the PlayStation hardware, and that's why they stick out to me. The Last of Us, still one of the best games ever made, and the remix also. They look and feel and play amazing, and it's I didn't have that with all the remakes on the sequels, and it's a shame that so much resources went into PC ports, for example, as well. That's another thing. I'm not against people playing PlayStation exclusives. I think these resources could be funneled into amazing exclusives, and that's what sells consoles, I think. Um, yeah. What do you think?
I think it's a fair point. I think, yeah, the biggest thing with the PS exclusive game is that it's made for that specific hardware, so it gets the most out of it,
System seller, yeah.
and it's a system seller. And I think what's happened now is I think Sony have pivoted to a new thing where obviously this generation, Sony have completely destroyed Microsoft in the console war, console race. I mean, Microsoft also has kind of self-destructed in the last few years with the Xbox, and they're hopefully getting back on track. Um, but I think what Sony have done now and changed is Sony now currently have the best console in the world, which is the PS5 Pro. And I think they have now basically set a standard for the gaming industry. So now, if you want to play a third party game, the best way to play it is on the PS5 Pro. So, for
Mm.
example, Resident Evil Requiem, ignoring PC, we're not talking about PCs here, but in terms of Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation, if you want to get the best experience of Resident Evil Requiem, it's on the Pro. If you want to get the best experience of Pragmata, it will be on the Pro. if you want to get the best experience of 007 First Light coming out, I think soon, it's on the Pro. So I think that's the pivot now, which instead of giving us loads and loads of excellent exclusives that get the most out of the PS5 and PS5 only, now it's a case of all the best games made in the business for every console. The best way to play it will be on the PS5 Pro, whether rightly or wrongly. But I think that's what's happened now.
Yeah. And I feel weird about this because I was a fan of my PlayStation 4 Pro. I think that was a worthy upgrade. I still think highly of my PlayStation 4 Pro. And let me know if you viewers, let me know if you have a PS5 Pro, because I don't feel the need for it, but everyone is getting one and has one now, especially before they increased prices, and I didn't have that, so I feel a little bit left behind. Although I'm completely fine with my PS5 Pro. I'm happy that I can play PS4 titles with my PS5. That's very convenient. And yeah, it's all this power is to play sequels, and I'm not sure why I'm so anti the sequels. I think it has to do with the technical jump from PS2 to PS3 was immensely. Then from PS3 to PS5 was big, but the jump from PS4 to PS5 wasn't that big, and I think there has to be other innovation to make it feel fresh, because games already look so good. And yeah, I'm not sure why I'm so anti, because I wouldn't say Death Stranding 2 is a bad game, or Horizon Forbidden West is a bad game, or Ghost of Yotei. I'm just not invested in it, and I want to know why. Maybe you have something in the comments that explains why I feel so negative about it. And I think one mistake Sony have made is the focus on live service games. I mean, how many were there? 15 or something? Double digits of live service games. Every IP of them had a live service game in development, or at least in the planning stage. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Blue Point were making a God of War multiplayer game. Naughty Dog spent 3 or 4 years and hundreds of millions of dollars on the Last of Us Factions standalone game, which I, by the way, think would have been good, because Factions. They made Concord and they deleted it after 2 weeks, which I still cannot get over.
I wish I had this kind of money.
I think it was in a period, if I remember correctly, I think it was 2 years ago, they released Concord and cancelled it after 2 weeks, and then like 3 weeks later announced Astrobot's coming out. So they kind of like buried it quickly. They were like, forget that. Astrobot's and it's got 75 levels and DLC for free, and you know.
Oh my god.
Marathon has come out, and I always remembered over the last 10 years not being part of the Destiny gang, and I always felt like, I'm missing out on one of the greatest games ever. And I was hoping Marathon might be another, and the same happened with Helldivers 2. I kind of missed out on it. I really regret it. But we both did. Yeah. We can recreate it hopefully one day, but anyway. So when Marathon came out, Sony bought Bungie, the Destiny makers, and this was their big PS exclusive live service game. And you know, it got lukewarm reviews. I watched some gameplay on YouTube, and I'll be honest, it just looked a bit cartoony for me. It just
the look is what
completely... The look is weird, man. The whole blocky thing. I was like, I don't want this.
For me, it's the colors. It's the same reason why I can't get into Avatar. The
Frontiers of Pandora.
Yeah, Frontiers of Pandora. It's visually overstimulating, and I have a gut reaction. I want to puke when I see that, because it's so like
yeah, and so I guess they were banking on Marathon being a huge thing, but there's reports of how much money they've lost with the Bungie investment, and the live service thing is like it's been like an anchor strapped to the PS5 generation, and it's not the PS5's fault, you know, it's just
Jim
what
Ryan's
Sony.
fault, and
Yeah,
no.
Sony have really pushed for this, and the saddest thing is there's a new thing now on PlayStation. They're testing in beta where, on Steam you can get the most played games of the month, how many active players. We're going to get that on the PlayStation.
Okay.
And I think Mystic, the big PlayStation YouTuber, he's part of the beta testing, and I think he revealed this month what the top 10 PlayStation games played on the PS5 are. And it's all live service, man. It's all Fortnite, COD, Apex, Arc Raiders. I don't know much about live service, sadly. I'm not really in that world, but it was those kind of games. So it's a problem that I think it's a problem that's not going away, but I think it's getting a bit better. I think Sony is starting to realize that we're taking a lot of losses here. And there's only space for that many live service games, because this is the other thing. If you're obsessed with Fortnite, then you're not going to be playing a lot of Apex or Arc Raiders or COD. If you're obsessed
Exactly.
with COD, like, I've said in the past, my brother-in-law only plays COD. That's all he plays. If you're only playing your dedicated live service game, you're not going to be playing others, because every day you're leveling up, you're maxing up, you're getting better at your game, and
Yeah.
maybe
You
even
spend money maybe for
buying
skins.
skins. You're investing in that game, which, by the way, I've got nothing against. If you love COD,
No.
go for it. If you love Fortnite, go for it. But so then there's no point in having 10, 15 live service big games in the market, because guess what? No one's going to play those. Whereas single player games, guess what? Score bought Requiem and finished it. Now he bought Pragmata and finished it. And in a few months' time, you'll buy another game and finish it. So they need to realize the single player games is still where it's at. I don't know why this is still shocking to people. Like, I noticed with Requiem and Pragmata's release recently, and Saros, lots of online websites and magazines were like kind of making fun and being like, "Oh, maybe the single player isn't dead," and I'm like, "It was never dead." Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is what video gaming is. But it's strange. Should we talk about an issue that has plagued the PS5? And it's an awkward one, and it's the issue with games still launching on the PS4. So I felt like last year we were heading towards a PS5 only world, and I feel like this year it's kind of happened. I think Saros is a PS5 exclusive. Requiem did not launch on previous generation, the first Resident Evil game, to only be on this Xbox and this PS5. I think First Light is not going to be PS4. I think Legacy of the Dark Knight Lego will not be PS4. Wolverine will obviously be PS5 only, I presume. So I think a GTA 6 will surely only be PS5 only. So I think this is the year where it's 100% now. We're not developing for previous games. Oh, another big one, probably the biggest defining one. This year's Call of Duty has confirmed PS5 only. Because COD normally naturally has so many gamers around the world. They want to, I get it. But even COD now this year is like this generation only. So I do feel this is the year. It's taken 6 years, by the way. But this is the year where it's now PS5 only. So yeah, I think this bugs a lot of people that many games, Ragnarok, the 3 Resident Evil remakes, Resident Evil Village, came out on PS4 and PS5.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the thing that gets weird about it for me is, when we're like ranking what's our top 10 PS4 games, what's our top 10 PS5 games, right? We'll make videos like that, we'll discuss that. where does something like Ragnarok sit? Like, is Ragnarok a PS4 game?
Yeah, I'd
It
say
is
so.
obviously, but it doesn't feel like a PS4 game. When I think of
Yeah.
PS4 games, I think of Uncharted 4,
Hmm.
Batman Arkham Knight, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, um, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Infamous Second Son, God of War 2018, Red Dead 2. These are the definitive PS4 games to me.
Yeah.
You know, Ragnarok is to me a definitive PS5 game, but it's also a PS4 game.
Yeah. I played
It's
it on PS4, I think.
I played it on the 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, and that's why it doesn't feel we 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 haven't got the definitive PS5 games we all think about when we think of PS4, as you just mentioned. And it's watered down a little bit. And for the longest time, I played on my PS4 Pro. Um, of course, I can do that now on my PS5, but to me, my PS5 is more a console to play my old PS4 games, to finish the DLCs, and not. I'm not excited for the exclusive. Oh my god, have you played this exclusive game? Uh, yeah. So it's really weird. And what you mentioned, the feel I had this feeling, I think a couple of days ago, when I was like, huh, I didn't think I have seen many PS4 releases
Mm-hmm.
with Pragmata and
Yeah.
Resident Evil Requiem. Yeah, it's this year when it sunk in that
Yeah.
we might have transitioned to PS5.
Yeah. This is definitely the year, which is
Yeah.
it's taken a while because it's been 6 years. So the PS4 launched, was it 2013?
Yeah.
So this would be the equivalent of in 2018, 2019, we're now saying, oh, we're only going to get PS4 games now, which would be mad, wouldn't it? If you think
Yeah.
about it, it'd be mad. Should we talk
Yeah.
about some of our favorite PS5
Yeah.
games and what we
So
think in general are the best PS5 games to
yeah,
play?
I think so.
So I think I don't have a massive list. I don't know why, but I don't have a massive list. But just to get us started, some of my favorite PS5 games are Ragnarok,
Mm-hmm.
Returnal, Resident Evil Requiem, and of course Resident Evil 4. I've just mentioned these 4 games, but immediately only 2 are PS5 only generation. RE4 is a PS4 game. Ragnarok is
Mm-hmm.
also a PS4 game. Some of the other best games are remakes that we didn't really need. We're both probably going to mention The Last of Us 2 remake, but
Yeah.
I love it. I love the no return mode for free that they gave us, but I
Yeah.
didn't need that remake. It looks beautiful on the PS4.
No,
It
it's.
plays beautiful.
I think they developed it to have something to release with the PC port to make it PC
Mm,
ready. Because it doesn't. Part two is just a remastered, not a remake.
that's true, yeah. The
Um.
the part 1 remake was good. I'm glad they made
Yeah.
that. I think that was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
That felt fresh. That felt needed. What are some of your best and favorite
Okay.
PS5 games?
So the biggest one, the most outstanding PS5 title, I would say, is Stellar Blade, because
Nice.
that pushed me out of my comfort zone, because I wasn't into JRPGs, or I think quote unquote Asian styled games. I don't want to be too derogative or anything negative. I wasn't into it. I always thought it wasn't my style. And when I played Stellar Blade, it played amazingly. Of course, the visuals, and I had a great time with the game. It wasn't overstretching. The platinum experience was concise and really great. I still recommend this game. So if you have time, and try it and see if you like it. Um, and yeah, that's my win of the console generation. If I had to pick one, yeah.
I think a lot of people would pick that. That was a highly reviewed game, highly regarded. I think I think a lot of people would say that's one of the best PS exclusives, the PS5 generation. Yeah.
And next on the list is Demon Souls Remake, of course. But
Yeah.
that is a double-edged sword, right? Because it's a remake of a PS3 game. And it it is good. It's the definitive edition to play. Please check that out. And but still, it's a remake. It's nothing original. Then of course, The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 remastered. Um, they feel so smoothly and play so smoothly, and they are the best. I think they are the best looking games in terms of animation and everything. The world,
Mm.
um, yeah, and then Resident Evil 4 remake and Resi 9, of course. And Resi 9 is another PS5 exclusive, as you mentioned it. Yeah, so it's yeah, I'm still shocked that not more exclusive games are on this list.
Yeah, I think, when I look back, I'd be able to name you lots of PS4 bangers that define the PS4 for me. I could also do the same with the PS3
Yeah.
and also the PS2. The PS5, I have to say, I do struggle. And
Hmm.
when I think back to the defining games, unfortunately, some of it's also taste. Like for some people, Spider-Man 2 is a PS5 defining game. I'm not that into Spider-Man, and I didn't play it. I watched my wife play it, and it was a good game, but it's not for me. So for me right now, RE9 Requiem is my personal defining PS5 game. When I
Hmm.
look back on the console, I'll remember Requiem. When I look
Hmm.
back at Requiem, I'll remember the PS5. If that makes sense. I haven't yet played Ghost of Yotei. I will do it at the end of this year. I'm
Hmm.
hoping that can be a nice defining experience, but um,
Hmm.
I've been replaying a lot of Returnal. That's a great defining PS5 game. It's not for everyone though, but
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's that some of the games are just not appealing to us, because I
yeah,
would, from a style point, I would love to get into Returnal, but you mentioned it before that we started recording. It's brutal,
it's
and
unforgiving.
my unforgiving, my lack of skill uh, is the reason why I'm frustrated. And if I don't play a game for many hours, if I'm constantly frustrated, I
Yeah.
would love to get into it, because I love the idea of cycles and biomes, and I'm not a
Hmm.
stranger to stress anymore. I used to be very easily frustrated, but and I love that you got back into it, and that gives me hope that I can go get back into it. Maybe you can share some tips and tricks with me. um,
For sure.
I love Returnal. It's just not for me. And what I've realized is that visually, or visual excellence is not enough to make me love a game. The gameplay or the freshness has to be there as well.
100%. Yeah,
Ghost
100%.
Ghost of Tsushima was amazing, and I still think about the wind. If you mark, you set a marker on your map, the wind will guide you. No HUD elements. It's the wind in the game, and that's amazing. That feature. I would love to have that in more games. It does look amazing, and yeah, that's visual excellent. God of War Ragnarok, one of the biggest, best looking games. It was fun to play, but it was more of the same. And I wish we had more fresh IPs. I see why Sony does not risk everything on new IPs, and I get why sequels are made, but they come out and they don't feel as fresh to me. They are just more of the same. And one thing I want to share with you, at launch, Spider-Man, the Marvel Spider-Man game at launch, I thought it was okay. And a couple of last month, I played the DLC to finish 100% the game, and that brought me back my um, my enjoyment. So I'm looking forward to play Spider-Man 2. But it took years and years apart. It took a DLC to make me realize that Spider-Man is a fun game, and I'm a little bit worried that Wolverine is more similar to Spider-Man that I would love to. I hope they make it a little bit special, because from the looks of it, it looks like more of the same. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I know all eyes are on GTA 6, but we know what we're getting with that, and we know it's going to take over the world when it comes out. But for me, I'm more interested in Wolverine because I think I think Sony could do with a big Wolverine win. Um,
Hmm.
I I don't know. I mean, I guess they've had, in terms of exclusive, they've already had Saros come out. At the end of last year, we had Ghost of Yote. They both got good reviews and stuff, but I think they need a real standout exclusive release. I think just to calm things down and make people happy. So I hope Wolverine is a gritty game.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want a colorful, cartoony 12-year-old Spider-Man game. No offense to Spider-Man. Spider-Man's great, but Spider-Man has the problem Spider-Man has, and sometimes a few PlayStation games have this problem. They want to appeal and please the 12-year-old and the 40-year-old. And
yeah,
unfortunately, those are two very different human beings, and they want different things, and you can't always appeal to both. So I hope Wolverine is actually like, let's just please the adults.
yeah,
The teenagers can grow up, and when they get 18, they can play the game in a few
yeah.
years. But let's please the adults. So
Mhm.
yeah, let's see. I'm sure Wolverine will get an exclusive state of play this summer, a dedicated
Mm.
state of play. I think the lack of banger games on the PS5, it's come down to many things. Things we've touched upon. One thing we haven't, which we'll mention now, but we've got the Sony sequel fatigue. You know,
Mhm.
God of War, Ragnarok, Yote, Spider-Man 2, Forbidden West. They're not bad. They're just
No.
more of the same. They're all right. They're good. They're solid 7.5 out of 10 games. I rate Ragnarok higher, but that's just personal.
Mhm.
The live service obsession has distracted Sony and led to, quite frankly, some horrendous decisions. Concord, Blue Point, wasting Blue Point's time with,
Why?
I think, the God of War game. I think they were God of War, and
Mhm.
then shutting them down. It's like you didn't need to shut them down. You have money. You can keep them going. They're very good at remaking games and remastering games. Let them carry on doing that.
Yeah.
Um, um, Another thing we haven't touched upon is some developers have kind of let us down.
Mhm.
You know, we have yet to have a Rockstar game on the PS5. I know it's coming, but it's been a long time. The most
Mhm.
shocking of all, of course, is we have yet to have a Naughty Dog PS5 game,
Yeah.
which is
And that's what I mean. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
On the PS4, in the space of, I believe, 4 years, we had Uncharted 4, banger.
Mhm.
Uncharted Lost Legacy, banger. Last of Us Part 2, ultimate banger. Like
Yeah.
one of the GOAT bangers. 3 games in five-ish years.
Mhm.
And now all we've had is a remake of Part 2. Um,
And the PC port.
yeah, and the PC port. So
Yeah.
it's developers have let us down.
Yeah.
Rocksteady, who made the legendary Arkham trilogy, redefined superhero games for the modern era, created one of
Mhm.
the all-time greatest trilogies, in my opinion, the Arkham games. Their owners decided that they should do a live service game or whatever it's called, and they made Suicide Squad. And now, in the space of, I think, 6 years, Rocksteady made the entire trilogy on the PS3 into the PS4 era. And now, in exactly 10 years, we've had one game from them, and that was Suicide Squad, which is safe to say a bit of a critical flop, at least. Maybe not
Yeah.
commercial, but critical.
Yeah.
So developers, for many reasons, not always their own fault, developers have let down the PS5 generation because of their ownership groups who have told them to do live servers, or because they've picked the wrong games to
Yeah.
work on.
Yeah.
Um, so
But to end on a positive note, I think there is good things. For example, Dispatch, a great game from a
mhm.
small indie dev studio. They are former Ubisoft employees, I think, former Telltales, and they have made something fresh. And so there are games that
Yeah,
that feel fresh, and I'm looking forward to more of them. That ex big devs found their own studios and make whatever the hell they want to keep it fresh.
yeah.
Um,
We've had
yeah,
some fresh indie wins on the PS5. We've had Dredge.
Dredge. Yeah,
Dredge was a huge win for the industry.
yeah,
Pacific Drive, I think, was a
yeah,
unique. I
yeah,
haven't played it. I want to eventually, but a distinct, unique game.
yeah.
Um, we've had a lot of these, but Balatro was a huge win.
Ooh, yeah.
My friend loved Balatro. Plays on the PS5 all the time. He loves it.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we've definitely had the great indie wins as well.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay, what's next?
I think next we can maybe touch upon kind of the.
Mhm.
We think we're at the midpoint of the generation. I don't know. I have a bad feeling we're going to get a PS6 announcement at some point in the next few months. But at the midpoint, we've got obviously the PS. It feels now like the PS5 Pro generation, mini generation is kicking off finally, because at first
Mhm.
when it came out, it was like, I'm not sure why I got this. But now it feels worthy of it. But obviously, the big issue with this generation is that every console generation at the midpoint, the prices get cheaper. And this is the first generation where the prices have gone up. And it's a bit shocking.
Yeah,
Shocking.
especially in this economy. And I
Yeah.
used to be a game fan that would buy multiple games at launch for 60 Swiss francs or dollars or
Hmm.
whatever
Hmm.
your currency, 60 equivalent of that,
Hmm.
just to support the developers. And I would buy the consoles. I would upgrade to the pro version, and now I'm not sure. And I missed the train because I thought it wasn't necessary. I didn't feel the need to upgrade, but now everyone I talked to has done it already and was smart enough and had the funds to upgrade it. Of course, some people would sell their PS5 to have the funds to upgrade it to a
Yeah,
PS5.
of course.
I don't feel that way. It feels wrong to me. But having two almost $1,000 Swiss francs, whatever consoles at home, I mean, for that I get a good PC, and it's
Hmm.
it's it's so expensive. And I'm a diehard fan. I have been a PlayStation fan since the PS2. They brought me in with all the exclusive Final Fantasy. I don't know if it's exclusive, but then God of War. It started with God of War, then Uncharted, then Heavy Rain, then
Infamous,
Bloodborne, Infamous,
Killzone.
Bloodborne, Killzone. All of these big names. They brought me in. They delivered something. They make they made impressive, visually looking games, fun games to play. And now the PS5 is like, yeah, it's better, it's more convenient, but it's not outstanding. And I,
One
yeah.
one thing I've never understood as well is that Sony have IPs that are lying dormant, not doing anything.
Mhm.
Sony have studios sitting there not doing anything. Why would you not go to like Bluepoint and say, grab a few of the Sony studios that aren't working on a massive AAA game and say, on a tight budget, I want you to make me a new 20-hour Infamous game. I want you to make me a new decent Killzone game. and make me a Resistance game.
Hmm.
Like, make them AA, not too expensive. Come out, sell them at say 50 your currency instead of the 70 mark, the
Yeah.
Spider-Man mark. Sell them at the 40-50 Pragmata mark.
Yeah.
I don't know why Sony doesn't do that. I never quite understand it. People love those IPs. Resistance was really good. I played Platinum 2 of them. They're really good games.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
it's just odd.
Yeah, the whole Blue Point is a pity. I mean, it has come out, I think, that From Software doesn't want a remake of Bloodborne because they weren't happy with the Demon Souls remake. And so, yeah. But
Yeah, the whole Bloodborne thing is just so weird and now boring. Like, I can't think of anything the public have demanded as much as a Bloodborne remake. Like, just make it happen. Just do it.
yeah,
You guys have the money and resources.
yeah. Instead of that, we get an exclusive Switch 2 title, Duskborn, I think, or
Yeah,
Duskblood or something.
yeah,
What is From Software doing? They for me they have stepped down a little bit from their highest of heights in the past couple of years. They are not.
well,
Hmm, yeah.
they seem to peak with Elden Ring, which was the most probably mass loved, mass played From Software game ever, probably game of the year. And now they're like, here's Elden Ring Battle Royale, Elden Ring Night Reign,
Hmm.
and a Nintendo Switch exclusive. It's intriguing.
Yeah, it's crazy to see big names to lose some of their prestige. From Software isn't at their height anymore for me personally. Naughty Dog is nowhere near its heights it used to be. What are other studios? Big studios. Santa Monica with God of War. Yeah, they have some titles I'm interested in, but so it's so weird that these big names can't capture or continue their rise to the top. I wonder where we are going with this. Destiny makers,
Bungie.
Bungie, they are down, and
Yeah.
I wonder who will fill the big void that is created right now.
Well, we all know we can rely on Capcom.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Capcom
Capcom
just
is
keeps getting
cooking.
win.
Yeah,
Capcom win after win. You know,
yeah, yeah.
Capcom keeps going, and they've got the big game coming out in the summer on Imusha. So the Way of the
Okay.
Sword, yeah. So, um, and
Yeah.
then we've kind of got we've got the accessories culture, which we can talk about a little bit.
Hmm.
I'm quite obsessed about the PS5 accessories. I feel like Sony have tried to replicate Apple a little bit, and I think all the different distinct controllers I do love. I really like that. The face plates is cool, though for some reason they never release new plates for the PS5 Pro, which is something people moan about.
Okay.
Which is a bit of an odd one. The Slim and the original PS5 get a lot of face plates, but the Pro doesn't. It's really odd. And obviously headphones and speakers and loads of different things. I think that's been a plus of the generation. If you're into that, I'm really into the controllers. I don't think I said it earlier, but I think the PS5 controller is easily the best controller I've ever used. Easily, like no question about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think of the haptic feedback? Because that's the first thing I disabled. The
I
vibration, especially.
I turn off
It's
vibration now. I
yeah.
turn off vibration because battery life and just annoys me.
Oh yeah.
The haptics is, you know what? I like the haptics at first, then I turn it off. So when I play a game with like a bow and arrow and it's like, oh wow, this is really tough. I'm like, at first I'm like, that's so cool. But I'm like, I'm going to be playing this for 50 hours. I don't want
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
I have a platinum to get. I need to shoot quickly.
Yeah, yeah,
So I like experiencing it just to experience it. But then after that, I'm like, yeah.
yeah.
The haptics in Astrobot are cool.
Okay,
It's really cool. All the sound effects and stuff that comes out your controller, it's really good. So I'd say with
okay,
Astrobot, keep it on.
okay. I'll keep that in the back of my head to
But
turn it
yeah,
on.
I think it's under when people think of a console and its generation, I feel like the controller always gets forgotten about. And I've played my on my friend's Xbox, and like it's not a bad controller, but like the DualSense, the PS5 controller is just amazing.
Yep. What threw me off is that the placement of the left analog stick is different.
Yes, the D-pad and analog is weird.
It's
So
yeah.
me and my friend
That
were playing Gears of War, and I had to adapt, and it wasn't bad. It's just not for me. But yeah, I think one of the biggest wins of this PS5 generation is the controller, the thing you hold and use the most during gaming. So
before we continue, I just want to talk about PC ports of
yeah,
exclusives and a little bit of Microsoft, because we are getting the Master Chief for PlayStation 5, which is insane to me when you think about it. They remake the Halo campaign, or one of the Halo stories, for PlayStation 5, and Sony has released so many PC ports. A company that is known for PlayStation, the console, PlayStation exclusives. What are your thoughts on PC ports? Are they a good thing, or yeah? What do you think about that?
I think PC ports of PlayStation is dangerous because if you've told me that the PS exclusive is made for the PS5 hardware and the PS5 is the best place to play it, and then I go online and I see someone playing Last of Us 2 on their fancy PC and it looks way better than my PS version and it plays better, I'm going to be like, what is going on here?
Mhm.
Um, I I would rather if you have an exclusive, you keep it exclusive. You
Yeah,
know, I'm happy for everyone to play every game. By the way, I don't mind. Like, you
yeah,
know, it's nice that now us PlayStation people can play Halo and things like that. And Forza, is that the big Xbox racing
yeah.
game?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
So, um, I think it's okay, but I would rather if you're actually committing to the exclusive culture and philosophy, then stick to it.
Yeah.
So it's PS games should only be on PS.
And I read about this, that PC fans are not that happy because there is issues with the optimization for their system, so it's different hardwares.
Yeah.
And also they were forced by Sony to have a PS Plus membership, which
Yeah.
they didn't want, and so they are more than, from what I'm reading, they are unhappy about it, and I think Sony has stopped
Yeah.
releasing their games on PC, which I agree with it. I'm happy for that, just because the resources should get into the PlayStation exclusives games. That's where they shine. And
Yeah. And then the stats go weird. If you've got PC players with a PSN account and then you go statistically, we have 100 million PSN players. It's like, well, do you? Which ones have PlayStation? Which ones have PC? Because
Mhm.
I don't think you count as a PlayStation player if you don't own a PlayStation.
Yeah,
Just doesn't work. I just don't agree with
yeah,
that. So
yeah,
yeah, I think if either release it for everyone or stick to your exclusives
yeah.
is what I think.
Okay.
Should
So what's
we
next?
should we start wrapping up and talk about what do we think should happen for the second half of the
Okay.
PS5's lifespan, if indeed there is a second half?
Yeah. Wow. What a thing. I mean, I I hope for the best. I'm not that optimistic, but I hope for the best. I think Sony has got the message that, live service games are not the holy grail and the solution to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they cut that down, release one or two maybe, but focus the rest on developing exclusive IPs, fresh IPs, new IPs, not sequels. PC ports are done. I hope this continues. Use the resources to make better games. And then, yeah, focus on great single player IPs. Surprise us. And I hope they get it. And I'm looking forward to more PS5 defining generational games. That's what I want. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm a PlayStation fan. What about you? What are your thoughts on the second half of PS5's lifespan?
I think more PS single player exclusives. So, Wolverine's coming. Let's get a Spider-Man 3 announcement, or the Venom game that's always rumored. Horizon 3, get it out, get these made. I would say we have only ever had a teaser for Intergalactic. We need clear information this year. I think we need a release date. We need a serious gameplay look from Naughty Dog. I think that would help. I think we need to know when that's coming out. Hopefully next year. Maybe, I don't know if it can slip in this year. I doubt it, but hopefully next year. I think we need that Naughty Dog information. I'd also like to see Sony try and invest in new IP. Like, I'd love for Sony to take over the Arkham IP and churn out games. Or if not, I would love for Sony to do something brave, like go to other publishers and fund, for example, Arkham Origins is only on the PS3, and say we'll fund a port and it can be a PS5 exclusive for 2-3 years, and get the port of an old PS3 classic onto the PS5. The big thing I'd like is to delay the PS6.
Yeah.
I don't think we need a PS6 anytime soon.
I would be so pissed if I had a PS5 Pro and they would announce the PS6.
There's this thing where it's always like every 7 years the next console comes out. I'm like, that was good back in those days when technology changed so much, but I'm like, I don't think we need a PS6. I think they should just focus on the PS5 Pro now and just have the PS5 generation for maybe a decade, maybe go up until 2030. But I think, I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about the PS6 launch. I just think there's so many people who still not bought PS5, and I think it could get messy. But yeah, I'd say keep the PS5 going for many, many more years, in my opinion.
As long as you can, I agree.
Let's have a good run of 5 years of just PS5 only games, because we've not had that. Yeah.
That would be amazing. So our viewers, if you're still here, we appreciate you. What are your hopes and dreams for the second half of the PS5's life cycle? Please share your thoughts in the comments. We always want to read your opinion and discuss with you. That's the best part of the podcast. We have discussed so much. Should we wrap up our whole discussion? And
a lot to wrap up. I think.
What's your conclusion?
As just a console, not looking at anything else, as a console, it's the best PlayStation console ever made, easily. Best controller, best graphics, loading times, frame rates, best user interface, customize accessories. It's the best console ever made by Sony. As a generation, let's get more single player games. People aren't that obsessed about how fancy games look and ray tracing. You don't need to spend hundreds of millions on this and take 8 years to make a game. Just copy Capcom and just churn out games at reasonable prices. If they can do it, it can't be that hard. Focus get us more excellent exclusives. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with my PS5. It's, I probably spend 70% of the time playing PS4 games. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I love my PS5. I hope it continues for a while. I don't want a PS6.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I have been negative in this conversation, I feel like, but I would say the PS5 is a great place for gamers in 2026. Of course, there is this caveat. I say console cycles have become shorter, the prices have increased, of course, and that hurts. But great games look better than ever. It feels smoothly. Tech has been improving. The SSD, my external SSD, is the best thing I invested in, because I have multiple games on my console and I can switch whatever to whatever I want. Big games have become bigger and bigger, and I feel like, yeah, it's a great place. I hope that we get more exclusives in the future. Sony is still my favorite place for gaming. I thought about going to Steam, and I now have a powerful PC, but I want to stay with Sony because I like the controller. I love the controller. It feels very good in my hands. It has the perfect size. The games have been fun. I'm okay with the PSN store and the platform, although visibility is very bad. Today I bought a game. I saw someone playing, and I had to type it in the name, and it wasn't at the forefront of the store, although uh, it was released, I think, 1 day ago or something. So there's lots of things Sony can work on, and I hope they focus their resources to um, to make their promise to the players come true. For the players, I think, is one of their slogans, and I hope they focus on that and not just making more money. And yeah, so I love my PS5 and I'm happy to have it. Let's see what the future brings. Yeah, that's all I have to say about this. It's a roller coaster, I think, up and down, but overall, I'm on a uptrend. Okay, that's my thoughts. Man, what a great episode! I didn't think we would discuss everything in this depth. At first, I thought, what is there to talk about? But you structured the questions great, and I think, yeah, it's the second special episode. Guys,
Yeah.
let us know what you think about these special episodes. Should we do more of them in between our regular episodes? Please share topics you want us to discuss. Let us know what you think. Yeah, take it away, Johansa. What?
Yeah, like Score said, obviously our regular monthly episode is always around trophy hunting and platinums on PlayStation. And with our special episodes, we've done two now. One was Resident Evil Requiem,
Mhm.
and this was the PS5 generation. And we just look at gaming subjects that both Score and I are passionate about. And so if you have any suggestions for special episodes, please let us know. And obviously, any suggestions for trophy hunting. Um, we really appreciate your support, and please hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed it, and please consider subscribing because we are releasing episodes every month without fail. We love interacting with you guys. I think that's the favorite part of both mine and School's journey with this podcast is the comments and the questions. If any of you have submitted questions recently, don't worry, they're going to get answered in our next regular episode, which will be coming to you in June. And yeah, let us know in the comments your feelings on the PS5, the PS5 generation, what you think about possibly a PS6 coming out late next year, as the rumors say. Let us know what you think, and we'll get back to you in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting us, and see you on the next one.
Bye.